Hey y'all, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another What's for Dinner. In today's video, we're going to start out with a classic taco ring, a family favorite. Then we're also going to make a cheesy, ooey gooey French onion baked chicken. And then last but not least, we're going to do some grilled mahi alongside some Duchess potatoes and roasted Brussels sprouts. Alright, so we're going to start out with an oldie but a goodie taco ring. I'm sure a lot of you guys already probably make this in your families. I've been making it for years, my mama made it for years, but it's just so good and our family still loves it. So you just see me browning up 1 pound of ground beef. I didn't have any actual taco seasoning, so whenever I'm out, I just use salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of cumin. So once my ground beef is browned up, I'm going to add 1 can of traditional refried beans and just stir those together. I'm also going to go ahead and add a cup of sharp cheddar cheese and just stir that up until that cheese is nice and melted. Next, I'm going to take 2 tubes of crescent rolls, and basically you're just going to make these into a ring. And the easiest way I found to do it is kind of think of it like a clock. Since you're going to have 4 separate pieces of your crescent dough, just do 1/4 of the clock or the circle at a time, and that way it just makes it come out more evenly and your croissant triangles are spaced out evenly the way they should be. So once you get them all in a circle, you can kind of play with them, rearrange them if you need to, but then you'll just start adding in your ground beef and bean and cheese filling all around the circle. Once you have all of your filling on your croissant dough, you're going to go back around and just kind of tuck in each little triangle. And I just kind of like to pinch it on the inside just so that it will stay together when we bake it. And I just baked mine at the temperature on my crescent dough package, and I only bake it for about 10 to 12 minutes until it looks nice and golden brown. To tell y'all something kind of funny. I was checking on my taco ring, which I'm going to check on again right now before I burn it. Hold on. Anyway, so I went to check on my taco ring. I pulled open the oven door and I said, "Are you done yet?" And so I just wanted to ask y'all, does anybody else talk to your food? Do you ask it, is it done? I've done that pretty much as far as I can remember. I was just telling Darren when I did that, I remember doing that one time when I was 18. I had an apartment with a friend and I was cooking green beans. I was cooking those awesome green beans. I actually have a recipe for it on my channel now. Anyway, I was that kind of 18-year-old. I was cooking green beans. We had some friends over and I said, "Are y'all done yet?" And my friend still laughs about that today, that I talk to my food, because I'm just asking it, does it need more time? Are you good in there? How's it hanging? How you doing? Are you done yet?
Are you gonna be good?
Are you gonna be good? Tell me about yourself, green beans. Tell me about yourself, taco ring. So y'all have to let me know. Does anybody else do that too? So once that taco ring is nice golden brown, I pull it out of the oven, and then here's the fun part. You can kind of dress it up however you want to. You can add just some lettuce to the center. I just decided to use a bowl for our toppings. I'm just adding some lettuce, and my kids actually like to eat these little miniature peppers. They're not hot, they're kind of like mini bell peppers, so I just thought that looked festive with a couple of those in there. And then I added some black olives as well. You could even hollow out a regular sized bell pepper and put it in the middle. You could do a bowl of sour cream, just get creative with it. And then we like to also top our individual pieces with sour cream as well. Now we're going to start on that French onion chicken. So basically you're going to take 5 onions and you're going to slice them really, really thin and put them all into a big bowl. And what we're going to do is saute those up with a little bit of butter. You're also going to add some garlic here in just a minute, but I like to cook mine until they're really translucent, really soft, and they have a lot of flavor in there. So meanwhile, I have 3 chicken breasts that I'm just going to place into a baking dish, and I'm just going to season those with a little salt, pepper, garlic powder, and some dried oregano. So next you're going to just start spooning that onion mixture over your chicken. That's how this chicken becomes a French onion style chicken. It's super delicious. And I baked mine for about 20 to 25 minutes until my chicken was almost done, about 160 on my internal temperature. The original recipe, which I will have linked down below like always, just says to go ahead and add your cheese and bake it all together, but I thought I would bake the chicken a little bit first just so my cheese would still be nice and ooey gooey and not, you know, burnt. So that's what I did. I baked my chicken first, and then I went back and added that mozzarella cheese on top, and I put it back in the oven for another 5 or 10 minutes. And then lastly, I just topped the whole thing with some freshly chopped parsley. So to go alongside our chicken, I decided to saute some fresh green beans, which I have been loving lately. So I just gave those a really nice rinse in the sink, and I'm just adding some olive oil and some garlic to a large skillet. I have my green beans super close right over here. I tossed those in with the garlic before the garlic started to burn, and basically I just sauteed these. I do add some seasonings. You can pretty much add whatever you want, but these turned out really good, and like I said, I've just been kind of obsessed with fresh green beans lately. They have so much more flavor, and they're also so much better for you. And also to keep the green beans from burning and to have them really nice and tender, I do add a splash of chicken broth here and there, and they turned out delicious. I just kind of eyeball everything with these. Just look how cheesy and delicious this looks. This was so good. We had those green beans on the side, and I also went ahead and made some biscuits I needed to use up, and this was dinner. Alright, so for the Mahi tonight, the Darren's going to grill on the charcoal grill. We just got some Mahi fillets from Publix, and then we're marinating the fillets in Olive Garden Italian dressing. This is delicious on Mahi. We figured this out. My stepdad made some a couple weeks ago. Anyway, so we're just going to let this marinate probably about 30 minutes or so while I start working on the potatoes and things like that. And like I said, he's going to do this on the charcoal grill. That smoky flavor with the Italian dressing is really good. So for the Duchess potatoes, you're just going to peel about 2.5 pounds of russet potatoes. Peel those and boil those until they're fork tender, and then you're just going to mash those up. Next, I'm going to add in some warmed butter. I got that tip from one of you guys that helps to keep your potatoes fluffy and not gummy. Also, I am going to add just a splash of heavy cream. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. I like to use the pink Himalayan salt, and some pepper. And then we're going to add just a tiny bit of ground nutmeg. So I'm just going to stir in those seasonings, and then we're going to add in some egg whites. I know that's a kind of odd ingredient, but that's going to create a really silky and kind of airy, fluffy texture in your mashed potatoes. So I just have 2 egg whites here in my little measuring cup, and I poured about half in there because we're going to use the other half to brush on top so the edges and the outside gets nice in that golden brown color. So you want to fold in your egg whites. You don't want to keep stirring them. Again, you don't want your potatoes to become gummy. You want them to be light, airy, fluffy, and creamy. And then we're gonna actually pipe the mashed potatoes. So I have my piping bag here, but pro tip, take my advice, let your potatoes cool before doing this. I seriously burnt the you know what out of my hand trying to do this, but finally I was smart and got a pot holder. So you just kind of swirl out your mashed potatoes just like you would be icing a cupcake. I do go back and make mine a little bit thicker or taller, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. They don't have to be perfect. So I just pipe those out on my baking sheet like so. So add a little bit of milk to my egg whites, and then you're just going to brush the tops of each one just to make sure they get that really pretty golden color when you bake them. And I baked mine at about 425 for about 20 minutes. So next we're going to start on our roasted Brussels sprouts. So you just want to slice off the bottoms of those and then slice them in half. Once you get them all sliced, you're just going to place all of them into a big gallon-sized Ziploc bag, and you're going to add some olive oil, some, again, Himalayan pink sea salt and pepper, some breadcrumbs, and some shredded Parmesan cheese. Now, the shredded Parmesan cheese is what the original recipe called for. I think next time I would actually prefer to use grated Parmesan cheese. So just give that a shake, make sure all the Brussels sprouts are nice and coated. So you're just going to place these on your baking pan and roast these at 425 for about 20 minutes. So here's also a little clip of the scallops Darren decided to try on the Blackstone. They turned out very good. So I took a picture and almost forgot to film. Anyway, so here is how the little Duchess potatoes turned out. They're really pretty and they're really good. I tried them. They're very, very creamy. It's essentially like a really big fluffy French fry because they're kind of crispy on the outside and really creamy on the inside. So definitely recommend those. And then there's how the Brussels sprouts turned out. Everybody besides Hayden likes them so far. And then there is the Mahi that Darren grilled. I already took a bite of it, like I said. Almost forgot to film this. And then a scallop over there. And this is our dinner. Relatively healthy and super delicious. Alright y'all, that's going to be it for today's What's for Dinner video. I hope that you all enjoyed. I hope that you got some inspiration and ideas for your meal planning for your week ahead. I hope everybody is doing super amazing. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye y'all.